All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the case file on our body's own microscopic security force, these elite detectives we call antibodies, to figure out how these tiny proteins keep us safe from a constant storm of threats. So, let's kick things off with a big question. Think about it. Every single day, you're walking through a cloud of millions of potential invaders, bacteria, viruses, all that stuff. How in the world does your immune system instantly spot the bad guys, especially if it's a threat it's never ever seen before? Well, the answer comes down to these amazing little Y-shaped proteins. You can call them antibodies, or if you want to be formal, immunoglobulins. They are basically custom-built agents designed specifically to identify and neutralize foreign things by locking onto unique markers on their surface, which we call antigens. Okay, so to really get how this whole family of protectors works, we've got to start with the master blueprint, right? So let's meet the big one, the most common and, you could argue, the most important antibody of them all, immunoglobulin G, or just IgG for short. Just think of IgG as the boots on the ground detective. It's the absolute workhorse of your immune system. These guys are on patrol constantly, circulating through your blood and all your tissues, and they're responsible for the heavy lifting when it comes to immunity against infections in your blood. And when I say workhorse, I'm not kidding. In a healthy adult, we're talking about a concentration of somewhere between 8 and 16 milligrams per milliliter of blood serum. That is a ton. It makes it the most abundant class of antibody by a long shot. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty here. What is it about this simple little Y shape that makes it so ridiculously effective? I mean, it looks pretty basic, but its structure, its design, it's a work of art, really. It's all about this beautiful, perfect symmetry, and it's built in 3 basic steps. First, you get these 2 identical heavy protein chains. They form the main Y frame. Then, you've got 2 identical light chains that hook on to the arms. And finally, and this is key, everything gets locked together with these super strong chemical links called disulfide bonds, creating this totally stable, symmetrical unit. And this is where the genius of the design really shines. This structure gives the antibody 2 completely different jobs. You've got the 2 arms of the Y, the Fab fragments. Think of them as the hands. They're super variable, and they're designed to grab one, and only one, specific invader. Then you have the base of the Y, the Fc fragment. This part acts like a radio, basically screaming for backup from the rest of the immune system. So now that we have the blueprint, let's see how nature plays with it. It doesn't just make one model. Oh no. It takes this basic Y shape and tweaks it to create a whole team of specialists, each one with a very specific mission. So in us humans, there are 5 major classes, or isotopes if you want to get technical, of these antibodies. And while they all share that same fundamental 4-chain structure we just talked about, the secret is in the small variations in their heavy chains. That's what gives each class its own unique superpowers and jobs. And this chart, it just shows you everything you need to know about their different roles. Just look at these concentrations. You've got IgG, our workhorse, way up there at about 13.5 milligrams per milliliter. Then there's IgM, a lot less common, but then look way, way down at the end. You see IgE? It's practically a rounding error. But that's not a mistake. It's by design. It shows you just how specialized their jobs really are. Okay, first up, meet IgM. This is the immune system's first responder. It's not just one Y, it's this massive complex of 5 of them all joined together, a pentamer. Because it's so huge and has all these binding sites, it's just unbelievably good at grabbing and neutralizing bad guys. It's always the first one on the scene when a new infection pops up. Total SWAT team. All right, next we have IgA. This is your border guard. It's the #1 antibody you'll find in places like your saliva, tears, your mucus, the wet stuff. Its whole job is to stand guard at all the entry points to your body, taking out pathogens before they can even dream of getting into your bloodstream. And now for that super rare specialist, EG. This is the body's alarm system. It's rare, but it's powerful. It latches onto special cells, and when it spots its target, say a bit of pollen or a nasty parasite, it flips a switch. It makes those cells dump powerful chemicals like histamine, and that is what causes allergic reactions. It's basically a blaring siren for very specific kinds of threats. And last but not least, we have IDD, the B cell regulator. Now, you won't find much of this guy just floating around in your blood. It has a more behind-the-scenes technical job. It mostly just sits on the surface of B cells, yep, the very cells that make antibodies, and it acts like a receptor, kind of helping to get them activated and orchestrating the whole response. Okay, so let's tie all this together. We've got a basic blueprint, we've got a whole team of specialists. So why does this matter? Why is this system just so elegant and so vital for keeping us alive? You know, this quote from the source material really nails it. The perfect symmetry means an antibody has two identical binding sites. What does that mean? It means it can grab onto its target with this incredibly strong and super specific grip. It's like having two hands that are perfectly designed for one and only one job. So here's the bottom line, the thing you absolutely have to remember. Nature built this mind-blowingly efficient system from a really simple modular design. You have one versatile Y-shaped blueprint, you have a super clear division of labor, the Fab hands grab, and the Fac base signals, and then you have 5 specialized classes that take that blueprint and adapt it for literally any situation. It's a system that gives us this specific, targeted defense against, well, pretty much an infinite number of threats. And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This one simple, elegant protein blueprint protects every single one of us every single day. It kind of makes you wonder, what other brilliant designs are out there in biology, quietly doing so much with what looks like so little?